Hey there, friend. I'm glad you're here with me today. Let's sit together for a while, just you and me, and I'll share a story that's been on my mind lately. It's one of those tales that feels like it's lived in the bones of the earth, passed down through quiet whispers on mountain trails. It's about a man, a cliff, and a stranger who saw right through him. I think you'll feel it too, somewhere deep. So settle in, maybe grab a warm drink, and let's walk through this together. Imagine a rugged mountain, far from any village, where the wind howls like it's carrying secrets. Up there, on a jagged cliff, a man sits, hunched over, sobbing so hard his shoulders shake. His cries echo off the stone, lost in the vast emptiness. He's alone, or so he thinks. Down the path, a wandering monk, a bowed bhikshu, hears the sound. The monk's steps are slow, deliberate, his robes fluttering in the breeze. He approaches, not with judgment, but with a quiet curiosity, and sits beside the man. "Are you here to end it all?" he asks, his voice soft, almost like the wind itself. The man, startled, wipes his face with a trembling hand. "Yes," he admits, his voice breaking. "I came to jump. I couldn't find the courage to ask myself to do it." The monk tilts his head, studying him. "If you came to die, why did you bring so much baggage with you?" The man looks around, confused. "I didn't bring anything. I left it all behind, everything." The monk smiles faintly, a knowing kind of smile. "And yet, you're carrying so much weight. Look closer, friend. Not around you, within you. There's a burden inside, so heavy it's stealing your breath. Why not let it out? Why keep crushing yourself under it?" The man stares at him, eyes wide, and then, as if something cracks open inside, he falls at the monk's feet. "You've seen straight into my heart," he whispers. "No one, not even my own family, understands me like this. Please help me, free me from this pain." The monk shakes his head gently. "I can't go to your home to fix what's wrong there. The problem isn't in your house, it's in here." He taps his own chest lightly. "Until you heal what's inside, you'll see problems everywhere. If it was just your home, why did you run to this forest? Why are you crying here, miles away? You left your house behind, didn't you? So why didn't the pain stay there too?" The man nods slowly, tears still streaming. "You're right. It's me. I'm the flaw. I'm useless. My fate is cursed." The monk raises an eyebrow. "Tell me, how is your fate cursed?" And so the man pours it out, like water from a broken dam. He tells of borrowing money from his family to start a milk trade, dreaming of wealth to shower them with happiness. But the business failed, the money drowned, his family turned away, blaming him, taunting him daily. "Look at your friend," they'd say. "He started the same trade, and now he's thriving, and you're nothing." Even that friend would visit, boasting of his success, his hard work, his brilliance. Every word felt like a stone thrown at the man's heart. "I've lost everything," he says. "Even my home is mortgaged. I'm a failure." The monk listens, not interrupting, just letting the man empty himself. Then he asks, "Why does your friend come to you so often?" The man scoffs. "To rub it in, to show me he's better, smarter, harder working. He wants me to suffer, seeing his success." The monk's eyes soften. "And do you suffer?" The man hesitates, then admits, "Yes, but if I'm honest, it's not just my failure that hurts, it's his success. It stings more." There's a long silence, the kind that feels heavier than words. Then the monk speaks, his voice like a gentle stream. "The real trouble isn't your trade failing, it's the way you think. Your mind is full of shadows, negativity that poisons your work, your ties to others. When you started your business, weren't you already afraid of failing? Didn't that fear grip you before you even began?" The man nods, almost ashamed. "Yes, I was always scared it wouldn't work, and it didn't." The monk leans closer. "Then start with this. Fill your mind with light. I know your friend's words hurt, but listen to them differently. He's sharing his struggles, his lessons. Why not learn from them? Instead of pain, feel glad that you're getting wisdom from a successful man without stepping out your door. Work hard, don't give up. This darkness will pass. Remember, whether we rise or fall depends on how we see the world. A hopeful mind can change everything. I pause here for a second, friend, because I've felt this myself. You know those days when everything feels stacked against you? I remember losing a job once, years ago, and watching a colleague soar while I stumbled. It burned. But looking back, I see now how my own doubts dragged me down more than the loss itself. Ever felt that? Like your own thoughts were heavier than the problem? Back to our story. The monk listens, his face shifting like clouds parting after a storm. "You're right," he says. "I've held so much bitterness inside. But isn't it right to want to do good for my family? I tried for them, and they pushed me away." The monk's gaze is steady. "You're seeking praise, validation. We all do, sometimes. But if you truly care for someone, why need their applause? See your work as duty, not a trade for thanks. A mother cares for her child without expecting praise. She does it because it's her heart's call. Do the same. Let your happiness come from your actions, not others' words. Their opinions shift like the wind. If you tie your joy to them, you'll never be free." The man sits back, absorbing this. "I've been chasing their approval all this time. That's why I'm so broken. I'll remember what you've said, to think with hope and to act without expecting reward. But can you give me something more? Something to hold on to in my darkest moments?" The monk smiles, reaches into his satchel, and pulls out a small box. "Keep this with you," he says. "Inside is a secret that can pull you from any despair. But open it only when you've no other way, when all seems lost." The man takes it, thanks him, and walks away, clutching that tiny box like it's his last hope. Time passes. He changes. He lets go of negativity, stops caring for others' taunts. He restarts his trade, and this time it grows. His family, seeing his success, returns with respect. He's wealthy now, at peace. But life, as it does, turns again. A neighboring king attacks his land, his home, his shops destroyed. Many in his family are lost. He flees with his young child, penniless, broken. Hunger takes his parents. His child falls ill. Despair creeps back, whispering of the cliff once more. Then in his pocket he feels it, the box. With trembling hands he opens it. Inside, a gold coin and a scrap of paper. He reads the words and laughs, a raw, aching laugh. Written there is a simple truth: this too shall pass. With that coin, he starts again, small but steady, carrying those words like a shield. Friend, I don't know if you've got a gold coin tucked away somewhere. Maybe not, but you've got something. Courage, a memory, a stubborn spark. Haven't you? We'll figure it out, you and me, step by step. Because honestly, whatever you're facing right now, I believe this too shall pass. Let's hold on to that together, okay?
Hey there, it's good to be with you again. I've been thinking about something lately. Something that feels like it's worth sitting down and sharing over a quiet moment. Just the two of us. So, grab a cozy spot, maybe a warm drink, and let's talk about a story that's been lingering in my mind. A story about a teacher, his students, and the kind of wisdom that doesn't just sit on the surface, but sinks deep into your bones if you let it. Picture this with me. There's a small clearing, somewhere far from the noise of the world, where the air smells of earth and the morning mist still clings to the grass. A group of young seekers, disciples, are gathered around an old teacher, a guru with a face carved by time, eyes that seem to see right through you. They're all sitting cross-legged on the ground, eager, a little restless, hungry for something to guide them. And the guru, he starts speaking. in that slow, steady way that makes you lean in. He says, even a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I can almost hear his voice now, low and weathered, like he's not just teaching, but remembering every step he's ever taken. He tells them how we all have dreams, these big, shimmering goals we hold close. But then something happens. Instead of walking toward those dreams, we start chasing shadows, thoughts that spin in our heads, worries that don't even touch reality. We don't stop to ask, is this true? Is this mine? Or did someone else plant it here? We just run, blind, after things that don't matter. And because of that, most of us never reach where we're meant to go. We stay lost, circling the same tired paths. I've felt that, you know? Sitting here with you, I'm reminded of times I've done the same, chasing ideas of what I should be instead of listening to what I really wanted. Like that time I spent months stressing over a job I didn't even care about, just because everyone said it was the right thing. Have you ever been there? Caught up in a thought that wasn't even yours? Anyway, back to the story. One of the disciples, a young man with a kind of earnest fire in his eyes, stands up. He's respectful, but you can tell he's bursting with the question. Gurudev, he says, you've told us why so many fail, but how do we succeed? What are the small things we can do to reach the top? The guru gestures for him to sit, a small smile on his face, and then he begins. He says, success isn't just about passion or willpower. Those get you started, sure, but they don't keep you going. It's the little habits, the quiet choices you make every day that build the road to where you want to be. He starts with the first habit, and I can almost see the disciples leaning closer, hanging on every word. Begin your day with gratitude, he says. When you wake, before your mind races off, fold your hands, look to the sky, and think of 3 or 4 things you're thankful for. People, moments, small blessings. Most of life, 99% of it is good, but we fixate on the 1% that isn't. Shift your gaze to the good, and more of it will come. I tried this myself recently, you know? Just lying there in the morning, thinking of my family, the way the sun hits my window, a friend's laugh. It's strange how something so small can make the whole day feel lighter. Then the guru moves to the body. Move every morning, he tells them. Run, stretch, sweat. This body isn't meant to sit still. It grows weak, heavy, sick. But when you push it, you don't just strengthen your muscles, you sharpen your mind. Confidence comes from that ache, that effort. I felt that too, even on days I drag myself out for a walk. There's this quiet power that builds, isn't there? Like you've reminded yourself you can do hard things. He goes on, talking about planning your day. Before you sleep, write down 3 things you must do tomorrow. Then build your hours around them. Without a map, you wander. With one, you move. I'll be honest, I'm terrible at this sometimes. My days can slip into chaos if I don't anchor them. But when I do plan, even just a little, it's like I've taken the wheel instead of letting the day drive me. The guru's voice grows softer as he speaks of learning. Every day, give time to grow. Read, listen, practice. If you stop learning, you start falling, no matter how high you've climbed. That one hits me hard. I think of scrolling through my phone, wasting hours when I could have picked up a book or listened to someone wiser. What about you? What's something you've been meaning to learn but keep putting off? He talks about food next. Eating less, eating well. Your body is fueled by what you give it. Choose life, fruits, greens, grains. Stay away from the poisons, sugar, salt, bleached flour. Eat with a calm heart. Enjoy it, but stop before you're full. I've been guilty of mindless eating, shoveling down whatever's quick, but when I slow down, when I choose better, I feel it. More energy, more clarity. The guru's list keeps unfolding. Spend time with those who love you, he says. Family, true friends. Take moments alone to think, to know yourself. Manage your time, because a well-handled day builds a well-handled life. Sleep early, rise early. Let the quiet of morning ground you. And guard yourself against habits that destroy, addictions that dim your light. As he speaks, the disciples are silent, absorbing it all. I imagine them picturing their own mornings, their own choices, just like I'm doing now. The guru finally falls quiet, and there's this heavy stillness, like the air itself is holding its breath. The disciples know it's time to go. They bow, murmur their thanks, and slowly walk away, each carrying something new inside them. Sitting here with you, I can't help but wonder which of these habits we might try together. Maybe just one to start? Gratitude, a morning walk, a few minutes to plan? Because isn't that the heart of it? That 1,000-mile journey the guru spoke of, it's not about leaping to the end. It's about that first step, then the next, built on small, steady choices. I don't know where you're walking to, friend, but I'm glad to be beside you for this part of it. Let's take that step, see where it leads. What do you say? Shall we start tomorrow?
Hey there, my friend. Pull up a seat. Let's sit for a while. I've got a story to share with you tonight, one that's been rolling around in my mind lately. It's an old tale from a time of emperors and grand palaces, but it feels close, you know? Like it's whispering something we all need to hear, especially on those days when life feels heavy. So let's just settle in and walk through it together. Picture this. A vast empire, sprawling under a wide, endless sky. The emperor, a man of power and responsibility, has just lost his old vizier, a wise soul who helped steer the kingdom through storms and calm alike. His passing was sudden, and now there's a void. The empire needs someone new, someone with a mind sharp enough to see far and wide, someone with a heart steady enough to hold it all together. So the search begins. Across the land, they hold tests, riddles, debates, challenges of wit and will. From villages and cities, the brightest minds are gathered, whittled down until only 3 remain. 3 souls, each carrying their own hopes, brought to the capital for one final test. I can imagine their nerves, can't you? Walking into that palace, the weight of stone walls around them, the whispers of courtiers echoing in the halls. They're led to a room, told to rest for the night, and then the emperor himself appears. His voice is firm but carries a glint of something, mischievous maybe. "Tomorrow," he says, "your final trial begins. Whoever passes will be my vizier." And just like that, he's gone. But word spreads fast. By evening, the whole city is buzzing. What kind of test could it be? What's the emperor planning? The rumor trickles down to the 3 candidates. They hear they'll be locked in a great room, a massive door barring their way out. On that door, a lock, crafted by the finest artisans, mathematicians, and engineers of the realm. No key, just numbers etched into the metal, a puzzle waiting to be cracked. Solve it, open the door, and the first to step out will claim the title of vizier. High stakes, right? I can feel the tension just thinking about it. Now, 2 of the candidates, they hear this and leap into action. They rush to the market, grabbing every book on mathematics, locks, puzzles, anything they can get their hands on. Back in their quarters, they hunker down, pages flipping late into the night, eyes burning with focus. They're determined. This is their shot, their one chance to rise. But the third, he's different. He doesn't run, doesn't grab a single book. As the sun dips low, he just lies down and sleeps. Can you imagine? The other 2 glance at him, probably thinking he's given up, or maybe he doesn't believe the rumor, but still, they keep at it, unwilling to waste the second. Morning comes, the 3rd man wakes, calm as ever, while the others look worn, their hands stained with ink, books tucked secretly under their robes. They're led before the emperor, who confirms the rumor with a nod. "You'll be locked in this room," he says, gesturing to a towering door. "Numbers on the lock hold the riddle. Solve it, open the door, and come to me. The first to do so will be my vizier." And with that, the door slams shut behind them. Inside, the 2 scholars waste no time. They pull out their hidden books, scribble down the numbers from the lock, and set to work, muttering equations under their breath. The 3rd man, though, he just sits in a corner, eyes closed, breathing slow. The others smirk, toss a few jabs his way. Given up already? Do something at least. But he doesn't flinch. There's a stillness in him, a quiet I can almost feel through the centuries. He's not scared. He's not lost. He's listening, maybe, waiting. And then, out of nowhere, he stands, walks to the door, doesn't touch the lock, doesn't even glance at the numbers. He just pushes, and the door, it swings open, just like that. He steps out, leaving the other two so buried in their books they don't even notice. It's only when the Emperor walks in, the third man at his side, that they look up, stunned. "Stop your scribbling," the Emperor says, a faint smile on his lips. The only one who was meant to leave has already left. They stammer, "How? How did you get out?" And the Emperor's answer, it cuts right to the bone. The lock was never locked. A closed lock can be opened, but how do you open one that was never shut? This man, he understood. Before wrestling with a problem, he checked if there ever was one. That's wisdom. That's why he'll be my vizier. I've been sitting with this story for a while now, turning it over in my mind. It's funny, isn't it? How often we dive headfirst into solving things, big, messy things, without stepping back to ask, wait, is this even the real issue? I think of my own life, those late nights worrying over something, trying to fix what I thought was broken, only to realize later I was pushing at a door that wasn't even locked. Maybe you've been there too. A fight with a friend, a work problem that felt like the end of the world, and then, in a quiet moment, you see it differently. The lock wasn't on. I remember once, years back, I was stressing over a deadline. Stayed up all night, just like those two scholars, grinding away, convinced I had to crack it or I'd fail. But the next day, bleary-eyed, I found out the deadline had been pushed back. All that panic, all that rush, for nothing. If I'd just paused, asked a question, I could have saved myself the ache. It's a small thing, but it sticks with me. Life keeps teaching us, doesn't it? So I guess I'm wondering, as I sit here with you, what doors are we pushing against right now, assuming they're bolted shut? What if we took a breath, like that third man, and just checked? Not every puzzle needs solving. Not every lock is real. Sometimes the way out is simpler than we think. It's not about giving up. It's about seeing clearly. And maybe, just maybe, that's where real wisdom starts. Let's carry that thought with us, yeah? Next time life feels like a locked room, let's remember to nudge the door before we tear through the books. I'm glad we could sit with this story together. It feels like a little lantern lighting up something quiet inside. Until we talk again, take care of yourself, my friend. I'll be here, waiting to share another tale when you're ready.
Hey there, friend. Pull up a seat. Maybe grab a warm drink and let's sit together for a while. I've got a story to share with you tonight, one that's been on my mind lately. It's not just a tale, though. It's the kind of story that creeps into your thoughts and makes you wonder about the way you're walking through life. I'm no guru, just someone who's stumbled through enough years to pick up a few lessons, and I want to pass this one along, like we're just chatting by a quiet river somewhere. Picture this: a dense forest, far from the noise of the world. The air is still, the kind of quiet that almost hums in your ears. There's a small cottage nestled by a winding river, and inside lives an old monk. Now, this isn't just any monk. Before he gave it all up, he was the richest man in his town, built a fortune from nothing, ran a business that made everyone turn their heads. But in his later years, he walked away from it all, donated every last penny, and turned to a life of devotion, self-reflection, and service. He traded gold for peace, you could say. And now here he is, living simply in this forest hideaway. One morning, as the monk sits meditating in the pale light filtering through the trees, a man stumbles up to the cottage. He's worn out, clothes tattered, face heavy with exhaustion. His eyes carry this restless discomfort, like he's been chasing something he can't name. He looks at the monk and says, "I'm the poorest man in my village. I work hard, harder than anyone I know, but money slips through my fingers. Every month I'm back to nothing. No savings, no progress. My life's getting worse by the day. Please show me a way to be rich like you once were." The monk smiles, a gentle kind of smile, and gestures for the man to sit. "Son," he says,
Being rich isn't just about hard work. It's about the way you think, the principles you live by. I'll share with you what made me the wealthiest man in town, but listen close. These aren't shortcuts, they're ways of being. I could almost see them there, the old monk with his weathered hands folded in his lap, and this desperate man hanging on every word. The first thing the monk tells him is about saving. Not earning more, not chasing the biggest paycheck, but saving what you've got. No matter how much or how little you make, he says, put aside a piece of it, say 10% every single month. Doesn't matter if it's a handful of coins or a fortune, save it like you're planting a seed, because that's what it is, a seed for something bigger. I've thought about this a lot myself. I remember a time when I got a little raise at work, and instead of saving, I spent it on stuff I didn't even need. A new gadget, dinners out. Felt good for a moment, but then I was back to scraping by. It's so easy to let expenses grow with income, isn't it? The monk warned about that trap. He told the man, most people earn more only to spend more. They fall into debt, work themselves to the bone to pay it off, and it wears them down, body, mind, relationships. Don't let money make you a slave to waste. Use it for needs, not fleeting wants. That first step of saving, it's the first step to freedom. Then the monk leaned in a bit, his voice steady, and said, but saving isn't enough. You've got to protect what you save. This world is full of temptations, shiny things, the urge to show off. Greed creeps in, makes you look at what others have, and suddenly you're spending on comfort or status. Rich-minded people don't do that. They use their money wisely, invest it in things that grow over time. Poor-minded folks, they spend for a quick thrill and watch their dreams slip away. I can feel that sting, can't you? How many times have we bought something just to feel a little better for a day, only to regret it later? The monk's words hit hard there. He told the man to invest, not to be afraid of it, even though it feels risky. Make your money work for you, he said. Find ways to grow it, ways that outpace the way money loses value over time. But be careful, don't fall for scams or quick schemes. True wealth builds slow, like a tree reaching for the sky. He went on, layering these ideas one by one. Keep track of your money, he said, not out of stinginess, but to be smart. Know where it's going, where it's leaking. Avoid debt unless it's the kind that builds something for the future, not the kind that buys you a fleeting high. And habits. Oh, he talked about habits. Rich people didn't get there by accident, he told the man. They worked long, stayed focused, avoided nonsense. They controlled their time, their energy. If you want wealth, you've got to have that discipline. You might fail, once, twice, a dozen times, but you keep going. Success isn't overnight. I'm pausing here for a second, because honestly, I've tripped over that one myself. Discipline sounds so heavy, doesn't it? But I think of times I've pushed through, stayed up late to finish something, said no to a distraction, and those small choices added up. Maybe you felt that too. The monk shared more, deeper still. Buy assets, not liabilities, he said. Assets put money in your pocket over time, liabilities take it out. Most people don't see the difference. They think they're building wealth when they're just building burdens. And he talked about the mind, how it's a magnet. Think of what you want. Imagine it clearly every day, he urged. Picture yourself there. Your thoughts shape your path. Fill your mind with your goal, not your doubts. He gave the man a plan, a way to focus. Write down a specific amount of wealth you desire, a deadline, the skills you'll offer to get there. Read it aloud, morning and night, until it feels real. Willpower, he said, is what turns a dream into a fire. You've got to want it so badly that you see it before it's even here. Finally, he looked at the man with quiet certainty. Even if the money is small now, work harder than expected. Give more than you're paid for. Not for show, not for quick gain, but because that's how you stand out. People notice, opportunities come, wealth follows. The man sat there, taking it all in, the weight of his own life shifting under these words. He thanked the monk, a new resolve in his eyes, and left the cottage, stepping back into the forest with a different kind of hope. And as I think about him walking away, I wonder about us, you and me. What are we chasing? Are we planting seeds or eating them before they grow?
I don't have all the answers, but sitting here with you, I feel like maybe we can figure it out together, one small step at a time. Let's keep talking, keep walking this path. I'm glad you're here with me tonight.